What you've just witnessed is the life sentence of Alexander Ivanov on March 27, 2018 in Moscow, Russia, made public for everyone to know how they spread their fear. Now, rumors say Putin, the dreadful leader of this country, personally ordered this sentence after a very long trial. Now, the reason for Ivanov's life imprisonment is so outrageous, so deeply disturbing, it'll send shivers down your spine. Now, the official accounts were treason, espionage, and providing aid and comfort to the enemy. Truth is, he was brutally silenced for trying to offer the world a better future. He gave his life so that every human being, no matter if he is Russian, American, Chinese, or Australian, and so on, would get the chance to live a better life, free from power company monopolies, which are suppressing our independence and freedom just as his country's regime suppresses all Russians. But who was Alexander Ivanov, and why was his life so savagely ended, you may ask? And why was a simple man from such a distant country so important to the outside world? Stick to the end of this short and shocking presentation and you'll find out why the same principles applied to medieval-like Russia also apply here in the U.S., and why leaders like Trump, Obama, and many others keep this secret under military-grade encryption. Now, Alexander Ivanov was one of the brightest minds our world has ever seen. Born in 1954 in Yakutsk, Russia, he escaped the regime by a stroke of luck. Knowing he wouldn't stand a chance for a normal life during and after the Cold War, his parents had him smuggled across the border into China. He studied physics and chemistry until age 25, and after migrating to the USA, he earned a scholarship for his master's degree stateside. At 32, he was already a renowned professor in Salt Lake City, Utah, and a leading figure in alternative energy research and development. Now, in the meantime, his parents were struggling back in Russia, mainly with weather conditions. Sometimes temperatures reached minus 80 degrees, which led to cold blackouts. Now, they kept themselves warm by the fire, which was hard to keep burning with expensive wood. All his life, Alexander Ivanov did the best he could to help his parents and relatives given the circumstances. Now, few know that in Yakutsk, as in the rest of Russia during the Cold War, there were times when, besides the food rationing and lack of human rights, electricity was a problem. To fund the army, from time to time, besides the often ice blackouts caused by freezing temperatures, leaders of the USSR used to order power blackouts for parts of the country, leaving millions of citizens to freeze in darkness for days at a time. Now imagine living for who knows how many days without electricity, eating only canned food, and that's if you could even find canned food in those remote areas, and not being able to heat your home during cold nights, and the kids doing their homework by candlelight. Now, knowing his family's situation and having no possibility of getting them across the border in those times, Alexander focused his research on alternative energy, hoping to prevent the monthly famine they were going through. He struggled for years to find a viable solution, but failed time after time. Every prototype he invented needed some kind of fuel, which was very hard to find in Yakutsk. Moreover, he couldn't smuggle the device into the country, so he needed to make clear and simple instructions for his father to build it with common things lying around his house. So, after many sleepless nights and endless tests, he finally came up with something. After decades of barely contacting his parents and even then promising them to at least ease their suffering, on the 29th of December, 1989, he got the devastating news about his father's death. Now, risking his rights, he flew to Yakutsk to see his beloved father for one last time and pay his respects. But upon arrival, the KGB captured him and discovered the blueprints he was carrying. The plans were burned, and he and his whole family were imprisoned for a long time. Yet, this was not the end for this unique device. The original plans were still laying hidden in his basement, back in the U.S. Now, in 2018, my wife and I ended up buying an evicted house. It was the very same house he used to live in. And after moving in, I found the dusty blueprints. I skimmed over them, but having no engineering experience, nothing caught my eye. But I decided to keep them in an old box for no reason until one day when my buddy Tim came to visit. Now, we were all having dinner, and I was kind of complaining to Tim about how high power bills and how they kept piling up and not having enough between my mortgage bills, day-to-day expenses, and school tuition when all of a sudden the lights went off. We thought, well, it's a blackout. So Tim and I went into the basement to look for flashlights, and he found the box with the blueprints. Now, being a DIY enthusiast and having some experience in engineering, he browsed through the blueprints, and suddenly he was in awe. Now, he asked me if I knew what they were. I said, I don't know, some junk I kept for no reason. Then he showed me Alexander Ivanov's diary that was with the blueprints, and he told me about the working principles of the device and how it could supply endless, fuelless energy. I couldn't believe it. We started building the device the very next day, documenting the process step by step. It took us about 2 weeks from start to finish, and most of the parts we used, I already had lying around in my backyard. When the big day came, we plugged in a fan and started it. We just couldn't believe our eyes. Plugged in the fan. Now, I let it run for the rest of the month and plugged in all sorts of appliances, TVs, radios, electric chainsaw, a fridge, a vacuum cleaner, and a microwave oven. At the end of the month, I checked the mailbox, and for the first time in years, I grinned from ear to ear when I saw the bill. It was only $28, down from an average of $120. Now, it turns out that Alexander created something so practical that everyone can build one to power up their homes with free electricity while investing a fraction of what they usually do. Now, the result is a generator so small and versatile, there's almost no limit to how you can use it. Use it to fuel up any electrical device, from small clocks to refrigerators or big plasma screen TVs. Power up remote cabins so high up in the mountains you'd be crazy to even think about going solar. Take it with you when you go camping and enjoy mobile-free energy for your trailer or in your tent. And even get entirely off the grid with a high-output generator you can build in your spare time. Yet Alexander's invention was not completely meant for DIY. Simple as it was still pretty difficult to build for the average guy, and his father knew his way around it. And even though you can still find some of Alexander's blueprints on a few websites, you'll discover that without the proper instructions, they're all pretty useless. Now first, let's ask, what is the force behind Alexander's invention? All this energy emanates from one single center, one single source. Now imagine the universe as a huge source of energy, positively charged with a massive potential of over 300 billion volts. Now, inside the Milky Way solar system, the Earth is a giant magnet acting like a huge sponge that constantly receives almost 50 megawatt hours of electrical energy. Now get this, Alexander figured out how to capture the energy from this unique source, and it was believed that it was impossible to even use a small fraction of this almost infinite source. Now that's because most of this energy bounces off the Earth's ionosphere and is lost forever into space. And Alexander built it with the technology available at that moment. Now things have changed since then, and with just a few simple witty adjustments, you too can grab a slice of this unlimited resource. It doesn't cost any money, doesn't pollute, and will erase your electric bill forever. In the next few minutes, you're going to see just how easy it is to build it for yourself. But here's even better news. You'll be able to build this device with things lying around your house because Alexander's father had no way of buying expensive parts, so the design had to be cheap and simple. And because of that, you'll find all of the components you need for mere dollars on AliExpress. In fact, the new blueprints are so simple that you don't even have to be an electrician. Heck, a 12-year-old kid could build a small generator during a lunch break. Now, just imagine powering your household with Alexander's invention. No more paying through the nose for electricity, just to make the fat cats even fatter. Turn on the AC as often as you want without having that constantly hear that nagging voice inside your head telling you that you need to turn it off because you'll end up paying a fortune. Now, you may want to take some notes because this will be short and intense. And because this website is getting hundreds of threats each week from the electric companies who don't want this technology exposed, this video could be taken down at any time, even today. Here's a short video of the device in action. You're going to see how a $7 device generates energy. Remember, this is the smallest scale you can build, the Cold War generator. With larger scale devices, the results are impressive. Because once you discover just how easy it is to build the Cold War generator, you'll enjoy even greater savings of up to 85% or more when you discover the simple scaling secret for getting virtually unlimited free energy. You'll be able to power up any kind of household appliances, from lamps and toasters to electricity hogs like refrigerators and AC units. You can even power up a remote cabin in the wilderness and stop worrying about having to pay the electric company $50,000 or more to hook you up to the grid. And what's more, because the Cold War generator is very light and portable, it makes for one of the best emergency generators you could ever hope for. Unlike solar panels, it won't get blown off the roof by strong winds and hurricanes. And unlike conventional portable generators, there are no fumes, and you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on fuel. In fact, there's very little to spend at all. Except for a few simple maintenance checks every month, the generator is basically set and forget. And because of the low friction design, it makes it so silent you won't even hear it running. You can install it in your basement or backyard and not have to worry about weather conditions for 1 second. Here's what people think about the device. Martin Craig from Austin, Texas. My electric bills kept getting bigger and bigger. And for a while, I was thinking about paying $15,000 on a solar panel system. Glad I didn't. The Cold War generator does the trick, and it cost me a little under $108 to make it. Andrew Johnson from Colorado, 71 years old. I've never built anything in my entire life. Yet, this was so easy, I assembled it with my grandkids. Now we get free electricity 24/7. So here's why you need to try the Cold War generator today. Now, quite frankly, there's never been a better time for a technology like this to emerge. With electricity prices going through the roof and peak oil just around the corner, it's only a matter of time before everyone turns to alternative energy sources. But if you think about it, you'll realize alternative energy never really was an alternative. Just try going solar without spending 5 figures on a solar panel system. It's impossible. And then there are maintenance costs, breakdowns, clouds, bird droppings, and all the other stuff you just don't want to be worrying about. The Cold War generator, on the other hand, is extremely adaptable and will completely change the way you look at energy. It costs less than $108 to build, and you can find all the materials and spare parts at your local electronics shop. It's completely weatherproof, and it really makes no difference if it's raining or if it's too hot outside. And because you can use it during the night, you don't need expensive batteries to store your excess electricity. It's incredibly easy to build because Alexander needed his father to be able to build the device in the middle of nowhere. He made it as simple as possible. You can get materials that once cost thousands of dollars for just a few bucks. And with our step-by-step instructions, building your own generator is as easy as assembling a chair from IKEA. There are no emissions, no fumes, no radiation. In fact, it's probably just as green as solar or wind power systems. And best of all, it generates free electricity day in and day out, so you can slash your bill by 30%, 60%, 80%, or more. Here's how to get the Cold War generator blueprint. You need to move fast on this because we simply don't know how long this website is going to stay up. The first time people heard about the Cold War generator, things turned out really bad for the inventor. And we fear it might happen once again. But still, we want to get this into as many hands as possible. Alexander's invention has already changed the face of the modern world and can do it one more time. People need to hear about this amazing device so they can break free from big energy and stop paying for electricity that should be available to everyone. So here's the deal. The Cold War generator blueprints are available in electronic format for instant download. You could be reading them in just 5 minutes from now. And you can enjoy free energy from your own generator in just 3 short days. You'll save hundreds of dollars each month and thousands each year. There will be no reason to go solar and fork over at least $20,000 on a solar panel system that pays for itself in 8 long years. So just how much is it worth to you to literally get free electricity for good? Now, I'm not going to ask you to invest $1,000 in this secret, even though I know it's worth at least that. It won't cost you $500 either. The whole reason we're even charging any money for this is that we're forced to fight a lengthy and expensive legal battle with big energy. Yet, the Cold War generator blueprints won't cost you $500, not even $250, though they would be worth every penny at this price. I'm going to set the price of the Cold War generator blueprints at just $69. Now, I can't guarantee that I can keep this price for longer, especially since we're giving 60 days of unlimited email support. So don't get mad if you come back here in a few days and see that the price has gone back up. And really, the price doesn't even matter. That's because you're covered by a no questions asked money back guarantee for 60 full days. But because you're getting here early, if you act right now, I'll let you have the Cold War generator blueprints, including the manual, the schematics, the parts list, and all the tools you need for a single payment of only $49.95. Now, that's probably less than half of what you're paying each month on electricity. And you can recoup that investment in as little as 30 days. Getting the blueprints for the Cold War generator is easy. Just click the big, shiny, inviting Buy Now button below, and you'll be taken to our secure order page. It's simple. Get the blueprints today and put them to the test. See how easy it is to make your own electricity with a Cold War generator. Watch as your power meter slows down the moment you plug your generator in. And see what it's like to slash your electric bill by 50%, 75%, and more in less than 2 short months. You have 60 days to decide whether this was a good investment or not. And if you're less than thrilled with how much you're saving on electricity, just write us a short email at the address you find in the members area. We'll give you an immediate refund, even if it's the 23rd hour of the 59th day. Now, not a day goes by that we don't receive another threat letter in our inbox. Big Energy is desperately trying to shut us down. We don't know how long we can keep this website going. They're so afraid they may lose you as a customer that they're pulling every trick in the book to make sure this technology never makes it into your hands. Now, the Cold War generator will help you save hundreds of dollars each month. You won't need expensive generators, and it's so portable, you can even take it with you on your trips. Instead of paying thousands of dollars on expensive generators, you can pocket the savings and spend it on more important things. Just imagine how your life will be in just 2 months after making the Cold War generator. Now picture this. You're coming home from work and you notice there's a fresh envelope in the mail. It's a bill from the electric company, but as you rip it open, you notice that something's different. Now this time, the amount is almost zero because you found a way to reduce it by 90% or more overnight every month for the rest of your life, just by keeping the Cold War generator on. And month by month, you get the same relaxed feeling that comes with not owing anyone a red cent. You're finally free and independent, no longer trapped inside a legal monopoly that's holding you at gunpoint. Now, the Cold War generator is about something bigger and more important than money. It's about regaining your freedom and making a stand. Now, right now, you're at a crossroads that's going to affect not just your bank account, but your happiness, your security, and safety of your family for years to come. And the way I see it, 3 paths lie ahead of you. The first thing is, do like most people do. Take no action, do nothing, and hope that nothing bad will happen. Now let this video end, leave the site behind, and keep feeling like you're going to have a heart attack every time you open up your electric bill. Keep acting like a stress factor around the house, constantly worrying about every last watt of power. Keep sweating your way through the summers and freezing your way through the winters, all because you want to save a few bucks. keep contributing to the problem, gobbling up our natural resources and keeping us addicted to foreign sources of power. Now, of course, there is a second path, and that is to take what you've learned today and try to figure out your own system for creating real power for your home. Honestly, now you can try this, but would you rather reinvent the wheel every time you leave the house, or would you rather just climb into your car and get where you're going? Now, it took our team a lot of time, effort, energy, and work to put together the Cold War generator, to test it, to make sure that even non-technical folks like my brother could follow it and use it. And it's way too easy to mess this thing up and spend a lot of money while you're experimenting. Just buy the wrong kind of panel or forget a particular part and you'll end up with a really fancy lawn ornament that does not generate a single watt. And if you really want to be self-sufficient and not be at the mercy of big electric companies, then you should seriously consider path number 3. Let us take all the risk for you. Do what over 102,000 folks have already done. Grab your copy of the Cold War Generator Blueprints and see how fun it is to start generating power for you and your family in shockingly little time. And with our generous 60-day guarantee, there's really no way you can lose. Just click the orange Buy Now button that you see below. You'll be brought right to our secure order page and will be able to grab your copy of the Cold War Generator and all the bonuses at a whopping discount right away. So you need to act fast if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. We don't know if or when big energy will shut us down, and it could happen in a month or it could happen tomorrow. The bottom line is you need to get in fast while you can to get your hands on this incredible technology. Now, there are some questions that I keep receiving from people, and I'll try to answer a few here. Number 1, if the Cold War generator works so well, why aren't more people using it? Well, there are more than 102,000 happy families already using the Cold War generator, but every serious prepper that uses it won't brag about it. For some, it's the fear factor. Most people think this is too complex to build. Now, the fact is the Cold War generator is easy when you have the proper blueprint. Number 2, how hard will this be to make? Now, this is so simple and easy to build, you'll kick yourself for not taking up the Cold War generator earlier. The whole thing takes 2 hours and doesn't require strength or electric school. And that's all. And really, there's no excuse for not giving it a try. In fact, if you don't want to lift a finger, you can still do this. Just pay someone $50 to follow the blueprints and put together the Cold War generator for you. It's more fun than Legos, and many of our clients are saying that their children love it too. Number 3, how long will this take? Now, it'll take you a little over 10 minutes to go through the blueprints, and that's it. Building the Cold War generator takes under 2 hours if you're slow, and a lot less if someone's helping you. Number 4, how much do parts cost? Now, to build a small scale of the Cold War generator, you'll need about $55 worth of parts that you can get from any electronics store. Now, if you want to scale it up and get more electricity, you'll need more expensive parts. But you'll find that you can easily power up an entire home for under $110 in total cost. Number 5, is there a guarantee? Yes. Once you place your order, you have a full 60 days to check out the guide, blueprints, and instructions. Just follow along, and once you start building, your system will be up and running in several hours. If at any point you are unsatisfied or change your mind about this, just send us an email and we will refund your entire investment, no questions asked. And number 6, I'm ready. How do I get started? Simply click on the Buy Now button you see below. You'll then be taken to our 100% secure checkout page where you'll enter your order information.